Hello YouTube, and welcome to episode 26, Project Chimera. Alright, first of all, I'm still waiting on One Piece. He is not part of the Fire Gang. I'm just using that panel right there until I get this. Until I get one of these. Anyways, BrinkLink is awesome. Unfortunately, don't go shopping when you're hungry, otherwise you wind up with this thing. I don't know what... It's an X-Pod thing. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do with it. And by the time I got the order, I had forgotten I bought it. It's a container for pieces for these crappy little sets, and the only thing that I can think of to do with it is to make a transformer that has a wheel that splits into feet or something. Anyways, yeah, so don't go shopping hungry, otherwise your hoarding instinct kicks in. Hoarding, H-O-R-D-I-N-G. No, I spelled that wrong. H-O-A-R-D-I-N-G. Sorry. Yeah, that kicks in when you go shopping hungry. Anyways, on to Project Chimera. I almost called him Project Chaos, and this is the second video where I didn't do that. The last video actually was really good, and I had to refilm because the last one, the sound cut out halfway through, and I'm just glad that I watched it, because otherwise I would have had comments, like one comment probably. The sound cut out. Maybe I'll get 3 if I put JetBug in the the search parameters. Anyways, this is Project Chaos. I call him Project Chaos. Project Chimera. His mouth does open and closes. Articulation, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Oh, by the way, Hero Factory logo as stated. One thing, on this hip, I'm surprised how loose this socket got. It's one of the new Hero Factory pieces from JetBug. Speaking of JetBug, this guy is almost entirely JetBug. He's got some extra pieces from some other sets, specifically Furno 2.0 and some Bionicle bits. Anyways, he's also got hip rotation, knee, ankle, and ball of the foot. Now, for some of you are probably going to try to correct me. You're not biology majors, and that will be very evident in the fact that you're going to try to call this a second knee. That is the ankle. Here's a really quick biology lesson on toe-walking animals that's called digitigrade, like cats, dogs, and all of them. On the hind legs, this is the ankle. Right here is the ankle. This is the tarsals, the foot bones. These bones right here is right here. And this is the ball of the foot. The front leg, shoulder, elbow, wrist. It's pretty much like a human with walking on all fours. But the back, different. Anyway, sorry, that's just a really nasty pet peeve of mine. And, yeah, I went on longer about that 3 takes ago. No, 4 takes ago, because 3 takes ago was didn't do because of the little socio-political rant that I went on. And all I'm going to say from that is that Jesse Jackson is a hypocrite. And I'm just going to stop there. Anyways, tail articulation, 4 joints. Yeah. These first 2 are pretty hindered, mainly by this piece here, which covers up one of the faces, and by these pieces right here. However, the upper bit of the tail, the last 2 pieces are pretty well articulated, and he can even use his blaster in this form. Not going to do that because I want to show that off later on. You know what? What the hell? Why not? I will show that. Just to prove it. Oops, crap. Anyways. And there it goes. Anyways, well, at least I caught it that time. Onto the transformation. Oh, one thing I do want to point out, this guy wasn't originally going to be for Hero Factory. He was going to be a mutant from the mutants from one of the mutants from Beast Wars. Just my own design. Still my own design, but for Transformers instead. For those of you who aren't familiar with those mutants, the mutants were a bunch of Transformers that were apparently Fuzors who had some malfunction where they rejected having a robot, any sort of robot mode, so they went from one beast mode to another, which is just interesting in and of itself and kind of weird. But those mutants, if you want to look them up, are Razorclaw, Icebird, Soundwave, Noble Savage being one name, and Poison Bite. I couldn't find anybody who had all of them on their YouTube, but there they are on that list on the very bottom. Granted, some of the quality on some of these modes isn't top-notch, but as you saw, it's better than Animorphs, because pretty much all the Animorphs toys just suck horribly, and Hasbro, you totally frickin' dropped the ball on that entire fricking series, except for the two toys, the triple changing Visser 3 and the other Visser 3 that was like a deluxe size, I guess it would have been. Scrap. That is an issue. That didn't happen until the last take. This started popping off. It's kind of annoying. Well, anyways. Now, these gray bits that I'm tweaking, if you can't figure out what they are, one, you're stupid. Well, no, not necessarily. You probably just didn't get a good look at that. They're only important in the final mode. Oh, I guess I should have shown off the fact that he can actually whip around that tail blade, but anyways. In this mode, he is a praying mantis. Articulation's fairly well, well, wonderful grammar there. Pretty good. But I haven't finalized this last bit. I'm trying to decide how I want this blade to be, whether I want it here, flipped around like such. Because if I did this, then he could still use that blaster bit, the Thornax launcher. Oh, I should apologize for my voice. I'm kind of sick right now. I've got a nasty ear infection. And my other thoughts on that was to just turn the blade sideways so it didn't hang down. But I do like that. I think I'll keep it like this. Anyways, the dinosaur's head is very obviously the abdomen. So, yeah, that's the downside. But the Saurian form and the Mantis form were the two original forms. And I threw in but this head right here kept taunting me to do a robot mode. I didn't exactly do a robot mode. It's more of a third beast mode, so to speak. Though it's not an actual beast, it's a mythological one. I cannot find the name of it. Thanks, Internet, for nothing. Just a little inside joke. It would take too long to explain, so I'm just going to leave it at that statement. Thanks for nothing, Internet. Actually, I think Otis might have posted that. Just punch in "thanks for nothing, Internet" on Google, and you might find it. Anyways, rotate that around, split the head, rotate the front of the head around. This is the part that I was having issues with, that I mentioned, that I was having issues with before. what is this wonderful 5-year-old? Broke. What was it, 5, 6 pieces? It's completely amazed me because I didn't think a 5-year-old could go and break Lego pieces, especially new ones that were supposed to be super high quality, like these Hero Factory 2.0 pieces were supposed to be awesome quality and whatnot, and yet a 5-year-old went and broke 6 pieces. It was 6 pieces, but 4 of them were off of this guy. Here's my one cheat, is that I have to pull these off and flip them around, because as you can see, they are opposing in the direction that the top faces. And again, I do apologize for my hoarse voice. This is take number 7 or 8. I've lost count. If you want me to post that one with the political rant, just comment. But I'm probably not going to do it of my own accord unless I have like 2 or 3 or 4 people say something about it. But right, anyways. Now here is that third mode, the pseudo robot mode. This is based on a mythological creature, 2 actually, but there's one where it's a monkey with a scorpion's tail. I cannot find the name of the darn thing. And then, well, it's either a monkey or an ape, but it has a scorpion's tail. And then the other is a minotaur, as per the horns and the fact that the feet are more of a cloven hoof, though it's a broader hoof. Yeah, anyways, if you can call it that. Excuse me, just a second. The Zamosphere launcher does work in this mode as well. Articulation's pretty good everywhere except for the tail, oddly enough. I can bring it up like this, but that just kind of looks stupid because I'd have to move the only piece of the lower head that I can move is right here. So, oh crap, and there goes the launcher. But anyways, the launcher can blast to either side of his head. And this tail bit isn't just a pain to finagle around. And somehow this part didn't pop clean off. This whole thing normally just detaches right from where it goes, the whole front head assembly, not just the core. Articulation's pretty good, like I said. Shoulders, elbows, wrist even, and technically fingers, but they'd be double jointed and backwards. They don't bend in the proper direction, but thumb actually has 2 points of articulation, not just 1, but 2. Sorry. But that moves in there. I'm sorry about having that back so far away. Like I said, this is take 7. I'm kind of tired right now since I am kind of ill. And yes, I know that neither Minotaur nor a monkey scorpion thing have these blades back here, but I kind of like it like that, sort of like he can fly or something, but they can also just fold down to the side if I choose. And I was kind of goofing around with them, trying to come up with that vehicle mode. I haven't really settled on one. I'll probably just end up doing a separate video because I don't want to go past 16 minutes on this, because there's no way I can avoid going past 15 when I talk about the story. But anyways, Project Chimera was originally built way long time ago by the Hero Factory as an experimental project. He went rogue, killed a bunch of bots. Turned out he was a psycho, loony nutcase. For those of you familiar with Marvel Comics, think of it as Carnage, the character Carnage, the symbiote offspring of Venom. Damn you, Disney. Sorry. I'm just going to stop there. Anyways, so he was eventually captured and launched into orbit. and eventually made his way back to whatever planet Hero Factory happens on. And he wants to exact his revenge. Now I'm working on some of the key points of the storyline, but he does bust out Corroder for the fact that Corroder, for two reasons. One, Corroder has a vast knowledge of chemistry, and two, his just general disregard for life, I guess, and his passion of destroying things, which those latter two reasons are the same reasons he chooses to bust out Meltdown as well. I've decided that he also busts out Meltdown, and Meltdown also gets an upgrade. Now, one thing that I would like to mention is that all three of them have different stylizations to their builds. Corroder was severely damaged in the escape process, so he had to be rebuilt, and so I gave him a sort of a built from scrap sort of look. And as you saw, Project Chimera has an intentional design, clearly. And then Meltdown's I'm gonna admit I'm going to be kind of lazy with his design, but at the same time innovative. Whereas he's basically an upgrade, where I'm taking the original body of Meltdown and I'm adding to it. I'm not really taking much away or anything, but you'll see. I don't think I'll have him done by next weekend because I finally got a job. Another job. It's about time. Obama, you haven't done a damn thing you've promised. I'm gonna stop there because I went on a really long tangent on that about 4 or 5 takes ago. Anyways, good luck, good building, goodbye.